The project team would like to welcome you to this virtual public meeting for the I-70 Arnold City Interchange Project. The purpose of the meeting is to provide updates related to proposed improvements along I-70 as well as to the interchange and the local roads within the project area, including Finley Road and Indian Hill Road. Information will also be provided related to environmental considerations, the right-of-way process, and the anticipated project schedule through construction. Improvements to I-70 will include approximately 1.9 miles of reconstruction, beginning at the bridge over the Wheeling and Lake Erie Railroad, which was replaced in 2015, and ending at the western end of the Route 51 interchange project, which will begin construction in 2022. The project will also include reconstruction of the interchange to improve ramp geometry. Along Finley Road, approximately 1,300 feet of roadway west of the interchange will be reconstructed, and sections of the township-owned portion of Finley Road to the east will also be reconstructed. The project is currently in the final design phase of project development. Final design will be completed in late 2022, and PennDOT expects to advertise the project for construction at the end of 2022. The current schedule anticipates that PennDOT will review the bids and select a contractor in January or February of 2023, and construction will begin in spring of 2023.
1.9 miles of the I-70 main line will be improved. The improvements will include full-depth pavement replacement, wider medians and shoulders, and upgrades to drainage and stormwater facilities. Additionally, 2 overhead structures will be replaced to provide proper clearance over I-70. The typical section for I-70 will be upgraded to provide a 10-foot wide median, 2 12-foot wide travel lanes in each direction, and 12-foot wide outside shoulders. The improvements will make this section of highway similar to the sections of I-70 that have been reconstructed to the east and west. The existing Diamond interchange will be reconstructed in a similar configuration with longer ramps to improve safety for vehicles exiting from and merging onto I-70. Additionally, the existing steep grades on the ramps will be reduced to meet current standards. The biggest change will be the addition of a roundabout to the south of the interchange at the intersection of Indian Hill Road and Finley Road. This interchange provides access for the majority of trucks traveling between I-70 and the warehouse and light industrial facilities along Finley Road to the west. The existing T intersection is located close to the eastbound ramps and does not operate efficiently. The roundabout will improve efficiency and safety at this intersection by allowing continuous traffic flow. An auxiliary ramp between the eastbound off-ramp and Finley Road will allow vehicles making that turn to bypass the roundabout and further improve the efficiency.
As noted previously, 2 overhead structures will be replaced to provide adequate clearance. These structures are the Indian Hill Road Bridge at the interchange and the Crawford Lane Bridge approximately 7/10 of a mile east of the interchange. Both of these structures have damage from being hit by overheight vehicles in the past. The Indian Hill Road Bridge will be constructed slightly to the east of the current location to provide better alignment for the ramps and roundabout. The Crawford Lane Bridge will be constructed approximately 50 feet east of its current location to allow traffic to continue to use the existing structure while the new bridge is built. In addition to these bridge replacements, a new retaining wall will be built between the new roundabout and the railroad cut below, and an existing culvert will be extended to allow for the wider I-70 typical section.
Research and fieldwork was performed during preliminary engineering to identify potential environmental concerns along the project corridor, and the project received environmental clearance in December of 2019. The Waterways Permit and National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, or NPDES permit, are currently being prepared for submission to the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection and the Westmoreland Conservation District. In conjunction with the I-70 State Route 51 interchange project, part of the stream impacts associated with the Arnold City interchange project will be mitigated with improvements to Cedar Creek and Cedar Creek Park. The remainder of stream impacts, along with wetland impacts, will be mitigated in State Game Lands 297 in Washington County. The project will include 3 new stormwater management basins. Other drainage improvements include new inlets, pipes, ditches, and swales. Noise studies were conducted along the corridor, and a noise impact analysis report has been prepared for review by the Federal Highway Administration. The findings of the report indicate that noise abatement is warranted, feasible, and reasonable to construct for one area along the north side of the project from the Crawford Lane overpass to the eastern end of the project near Nichols Hill Road. No other areas were determined to be feasible or reasonable to construct. Once concurrence on the report is received from the Federal Highway Administration, a separate meeting will be held with the affected property owners.
During the next year, activity will begin to relocate various utilities along the corridor prior to construction. Other utility relocations will occur during the construction of the project so that the work can be coordinated with reconstruction of Finley Road and construction of the proposed roundabout. A majority of the overhead facilities owned by West Penn Power, Verizon, and Comcast will be moved prior to construction. An underground gas transmission line that crosses under the highway will also be moved prior to construction. Most of the relocations of the water and sanitary sewer lines will occur during construction of the project. In accordance with Federal Highway Administration guidelines, lighting will be provided at the roundabout and the approaches to the roundabout. Lighting is not required along the ramps or any other locations on the project. It is anticipated that this project will require 3 construction seasons to complete. The adjacent 51 interchange project will require 4 seasons and is scheduled to begin 1 year earlier, meaning that the projects will likely be completed in the same year. Detours and lane closures will be coordinated between the projects in order to minimize impacts to traffic as much as possible. Both projects will maintain 2 lanes of traffic on Interstate 70 except for short-term closures to allow for bridge demolition or construction and other limited construction activities. The first phase of construction will require closure of the westbound shoulder through the length of the project and the eastbound shoulder at the 2 overhead structures. Additionally, the westbound ramps will be closed and traffic will be detoured. A temporary connection for Finley Road will be constructed to allow traffic to continue to use the eastbound ramps, and minor modifications will be made at Exit 43, State Route 201, to accommodate the additional traffic that will use that exit. During this phase, both overhead bridges will be replaced, the retaining wall along Finley Road will be constructed, the roundabout will be completed, and the culverts under I-70 will be extended. This will allow the lanes to be shifted as needed for the remaining phases. During Phase 2, traffic will be shifted onto temporary pavement placed along the westbound lanes during the first phase. Construction of Interstate 70 will then be completed working from south to north through the remaining phases. Temporary connections to the ramps at the Arnold City Interchange will allow traffic to utilize the interchange through these remaining phases.
This project is one of many upgrades along Interstate 70 between the West Virginia state line and the Pennsylvania Turnpike in New Stanton. To learn more about these improvements, please visit the I-70 project's website at the link provided. To learn more about roundabouts and their benefits, please visit the PennDOT and FHWA websites at the links provided. Public feedback is important to the project team. Please submit comments during the virtual plans display to the project team members shown.